Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, welcoming Chicago Med star Nick Gehlfuss to Behind the Velvet Rope. Make sure to check out the fall finale tonight on NBC at 9/8 Central. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. Was a huge fan of you, Nick Gehlfuss, until right now when you stole my side in studio
You're
here.
welcome.
Congrats on your show regardless.
Thank you very much.
All right, man. Chicago Med, really great show you have here. I was just telling you, big fan. You're heading into your fall finale.
Yeah.
You've got a big episode ahead. Just tell me everything that happens and we'll call it a day. What do you say?
Everyone dies.
There's no show after that then, Nick. That's cancellation.
Well, that's the cliffhanger. You think everyone dies. And then we all give each other CPR on the next episode when we come back from the holidays. New year, new life.
It is Dick Wolf. Anything is possible.
That's very true.
This show's...
Actually, well, tomorrow, it was one of my favorite episodes to film, actually. Halstead's juggling multiple controversial issues. He's got an ethical dilemma that he deals with Dr. Manning, so it brings them two back together. And there's something, you will see Halstead do something on this episode that no one has ever done on this show up until now.
Now I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
It's funny because he does have an enormous ethical dilemma. It's already been teased, obviously, but I love how this show does bring in real life issues and then obviously puts the Dick Wolf spin on it.
Of course.
As an actor, when you have to deal with these real life issues, do you find yourself making a decision in your head from your own standpoint versus the character's standpoint?
When I read it, you get that first impression when you read anything, and I find myself in the position of the audience usually. Our writers do such a great job of justifying both ends of these dilemmas, and I don't know. I do a lot of thinking. I mean, that's what these shows I think I'm really happy about, and we're very proud of our work and everything. But what they do at the end of the day, you're thinking. And you're being entertained, of course. You sit down to be entertained, but you get up educated is essentially what happens with these shows. And, it's as far as I'm concerned, in the midst of a lot of entertainment out there, it's some of the best.
What do you think makes this show such a fan favorite? I mean, the ratings have been terrific. I was just on Twitter. I had a quick break, and I'm just looking at the viral reactions. Why do you think fans have attached themselves so much to Chicago Med?
A medical show is universal. Just by nature. I mean, we all have a body, of course, right? And we all know somebody that has. Hey, let's put it this way. We've all been to a hospital on our own or been with someone in a hospital, and it's relevant on that level. These are the highest stakes possible. You're dealing with life and death, so. In that sense, right then and there, you're wrapped up. You're engaged right away. You want to, Dick Wolf is loyal to his fans. You know what I mean? If you're a Dick Wolf fan, then you're gonna be fans of this because all he's done is capitalize. He's kept it consistent with what he's done with Law and Order, but he's capitalized in bringing these shows together, and they cross over in a way no one's ever seen. And so if you're a fan of one show, you ultimately become fans of all the other ones. And I think people enjoy that reality that is every day with the police, the firefighters, and the medical professionals. It just rings true. I think people enjoy honesty.
It's funny you mentioned Dick Wolf because you look at, from a TV perspective, there's probably been nobody more successful and with the great longevity than Dick Wolf. What do you think makes him such an icon and so good at what he does?
He's devoted his art to law enforcement and first responders. He reminds us that there's people out there that may not get the attention on a day-to-day basis that have devoted their lives to other people, and he's great with entertainment, but he balances it by paying homage to these noble professions that really you walk away inspired by these people. This character that I'm playing now is the most inspiring character I've ever played, and once again he's loyal. I mean, he's a genius. He understands he's got a formula down and it works, right? But he's loyal. He doesn't. He's said constantly, "I'm not looking to make flashy shows. I build shows that have longevity." So he understands that and knows that at the end of the day, taking ripped from the headlines, it keeps things relevant and makes you take a second look at things that have happened and start up a different and possibly a new conversation about what's going on in the world.
Talk to me about Will. He's a great character. It's got to be a lot of fun as an actor to be able to inhibit that type of character.
Yeah.
When you get these scripts, how much of you do you have to place in this character, or how much of it is actually true? You know, when I say acting, how much of it is becoming someone else?
Well, at this point, we're in the middle of the second season. I know Will. So when I'm looking at the script, I'm reading it essentially as Will. I mean, I read it as I read for the story. You know, that initial read, you read for the whole story to understand it. But then when I start diving down into the work, I'm looking at it through the character's perspective always. And at this point, I know that. I guess it's a little back and forth, a dance of coming out of character and saying, okay, so what do I got to do for Will needs this, and I sort of root for him. I champion him. I'm sort of a cheerleader at times, or kind of okay, no, he doesn't understand this. He doesn't grasp that he's got to leave his personal feelings, certain things. So I guess I help rationalize certain things. I come in when stuff needs to be rationalized, I guess.
Speaking
on
of
his behalf.
Speaking of feelings, we now have Shorestead. It's like it was like a trending topic, by the way. It was like on Twitter, and it's like Shorestead hashtag. I'm like, what's Shorestead? And I realized that they were talking about your show.
They love.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the fans they relationships. I mean, if shows are about characters, if they didn't love the characters, they wouldn't come back, no matter what kind of show it is. And we're balancing that really well this season, actually. We're getting out of the hospital a lot more, and we're learning more about these characters. And yeah, in an effort to move on from Dr. Manning, he's found Nina, who, fun fact, do you know that Dr. Rhodes, Colin Donnell, plays his Nina is his real-life wife.
I did not know that. Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
We found out at the same exact time that I was going to be, swap and spit with her.
Wait a minute. How is that not known ahead of time if you're on set together? Like, how does that not happen and get known?
Don't know. Wish I could tell you.
How does it get known? Is it like, by the way, you're going to be kissing my wife on camera, just so you know?
I forget who told him, but literally we were sitting there and heard about it. I think we actually found out through. Actually, I don't remember, but all I do remember is looking at him. Sort of taking a cue from him first to sort of see how I should respond. I'm like, the best part about it is that we're all good friends and we're all professionals, right? So it's work. At the end of the day, it's work, but we keep it light and in the sense that we were recording one day you remember the marathon episode?
Yes.
Which was felt like a marathon to shoot, by the way. Another one of my favorites, actually. We were doing a jogging scene, and I was trying to be cute with her and trying to create a little moment or whatever. And he jumps out of the bushes and screams, "Don't you dare touch her!" And we're on screen, and there's people watching, and it was hilarious. And so we keep it light.
Does it become a family on set? I mean, you film so many hours. People don't realize until you're on a TV set, having done location visits, and I'm like, these people never leave work.
Yeah.
Do you guys become a family on set? Does everyone like each other?
When you join a Dick Wolf show, you become part of a second family. No doubt about that. And he maintains that family, and I thank him every time I see him for that, because the added bonus of this job, I mean, I don't work a day because I love what I do, but I keep on thanking him for maintaining the group of people that we have, and that's the best part about all the crossovers, is because you get to go work with all these, these great individuals, these very talented individuals, but at the same time genuine humans, and it doesn't get any better than that, really.
When you're on a hit show, people have got to recognize you outside at the supermarket. What have been some of the crazy fan reactions you've had? Because I always think about when you see television actors who people associate with their character, they forget that, hey, this is actually an actor. They see, Tony Soprano instead of James Gandolfini. Yeah. Does that happen to you? Have you had crazy fan reactions?
They only know me as Dr. Halstead. There's no other, they wouldn't know. Shameless is another role I did. So they I guess that comes up. But It's mostly Dr. Halstead. When I go into the doctors these days, they call me doctor.
No way.
Yeah, I find that hilarious. I go and I still do a lot of research and observing doctors, and everyone that works at the hospital that I go and do all the research, they all call me doctor when I come in. And it's the craziest fan experience. I was watching music. Whenever I'm not working, I try and get out and see some music or watch some theater in Chicago. But I can get to a museum, whatever. But I was watching music one night, and this girl, and I heard someone come up behind me and say, "You could do surgery on me anytime." And I'm just like,
I would be so freaked out.
and I was initially, and then I'm like, what? You just sort of have to laugh. I'm like, what is this world I'm a part of? I mean, and not to mention that I'm getting called doctor. I mean, that's never going to get old. I'm on a show 1 year, and they go to school for 15 years. They have all this experience to gain that title, doctor, and I'm being called. It's funny.
See, this is why if I was an actor, I would want heartthrob status the way your character has it. It's like nothing cooler than that, right?
It's pretty great.
He's like humble about it. He'd be like, no, it's the coolest thing ever. So with this show, past this episode, where do you hope your character goes? If you had a dream list for where does Will go from here, what would it be?
Well, overall, I hope they stick with dealing with these controversial issues in medicine, and they don't back up on Will's his dedication to his patients and his passion for what he does. I mean, other than that, I could ask nothing more from the writers, because they've what we've been able to discover with Dr. Halstead. I love our writers. They're doing an amazing job.
Why do you think TV is so good right now? I mean, you're part of this revolution. We're in this golden age. What is making television so good and drawing in so many viewers?
I think part of it has to do with the way you can watch TV now. And I think specifically with the Dick Wolf shows, no one's ever done what he's doing. And so this is really exciting. As far as Chicago has some of the most innovative TV going on right now, as far as I'm concerned. And
he's created a whole universe. I was thinking about it. It's almost like a Marvel-style universe, what he's created with you guys.
Of course. And it's so rooted in reality that people, you relate to it, and you learn something from it. I mean, the fact that he's... You're lucky if you get one sort of blow-up franchise like with the Law and Order, but he's like the Dave Grohl of TV.
He can touch anything. Yeah. He could be like, here's a chair. It's Alabama Chair, and it's a hit show.
Chicago Chairs. That's
Chicago
the next show.
Chairs.
You got it, man. Brilliant. No, and when you meet him or you ever have a conversation with him, his wheels are always turning on the stuff he's working on or another possible idea. I mean, this man literally, from what I can tell, creating governs his happiness.
Awesome, man! Congratulations! I can't wait to see the fall finale tomorrow. I can't wait to see if you put the kidney in the guy or not. It's a hell of a. We were talking about it before you came here. It's a hell of a decision he has to make.
Oh, it's one of my favorite storylines.